In June 1215, a meadow beside the River Thames would witness the most significant challenge to royal authority in medieval England's history. King John of England had ruled for 16 years, his reign marked by military failures, heavy taxation, and increasingly tyrannical behavior toward his subjects. The loss of Normandy to French forces in 1204 had stripped England of valuable territories, damaging both the crown's prestige and treasury. John's attempts to reclaim these lands through costly military campaigns had drained the royal coffers and burdened his subjects with unprecedented taxes. The king's arbitrary seizure of nobles' properties and his harsh treatment of the church had created widespread resentment among the baronial class. Archbishop Stephen Langton, recently appointed despite John's opposition, had become a focal point for resistance against the king's authoritarian rule. By early 1215, a group of barons had formed an organized opposition, demanding the restoration of traditional rights and limitations on royal power. These rebel barons controlled London and several key fortresses, giving them significant leverage in negotiations with the increasingly isolated monarch. The barons presented their demands in a document called the Articles of the Barons, outlining specific restrictions they wanted placed on royal authority. John initially rejected these demands, but faced with potential civil war and limited military support, he was forced to reconsider his position. Negotiations took place at Runnymede, a neutral meadow between Windsor and Staines, chosen for its accessibility to both parties. The location held symbolic significance as a traditional meeting place where Anglo-Saxon kings had historically met with their councils. On June 15, 1215, King John affixed his royal seal to the document that would become known as Magna Carta. The charter contained 63 clauses addressing specific grievances, including limits on taxation, protection of church rights, and legal reforms. Clause 39 established that no freeman could be imprisoned or punished except through lawful judgment by his peers or the law. The document guaranteed that justice could not be sold, denied, or delayed, establishing fundamental principles of legal equality. Magna Carta required the king to obtain baronial consent before levying most taxes, limiting royal financial authority significantly. The charter protected merchants' rights to travel freely and established standard weights and measures throughout the kingdom. Perhaps most importantly, the document established that even kings were subject to the law, not above it. The charter created a council of 25 barons with authority to monitor the king's compliance with its terms. Within months, both sides violated the agreement, leading to the First Barons' War and John's death in 1216. Despite its immediate failure, Magna Carta was reissued by subsequent monarchs and became embedded in English legal tradition. The document's principles influenced constitutional development across Europe and later shaped democratic movements in America and beyond. Today, Magna Carta stands as the foundational document establishing the rule of law and limiting governmental power in Western civilization.